Mic check. 1 2 1 2. What you gonna do? Okay. What is going on, guys? It is your girl Dags and welcome back to the channel. It is time for another Mangatuber recommendation vlog video. For those of you who do not know, I have a series on my channel called Reading Mangatuber Recommendations. I reached out to the Mangatuber community and asked them for their top 3 recommendations, with the only stipulation being that I had to be able to access said series in English. In the last episode, we followed your bald-headed senpai into victory as we read A Bride Story. If you would like to see that episode, I will link it down below. The purpose of this is to get some new recommendations, possibly read outside my comfort zone, and spotlight some awesome people in the MangaTube community. I will be reading the first 5 volumes of the manga series if applicable. I will be going into these series blind as well, meaning that I don't know who wrote what on their surveys, and I will not look up the manga until I get into the process of reading, so I'll be going in with only the information that I already may know about the manga. So without further ado, we are going to reach into this cup and pull out our next name. I did go back after seeing the first 2 episodes and seeing that you can barely see the names that are written on these little post-it notes. So I went back and I put them all in Sharpie. So hopefully 3rd time's a charm and we will be able to... My finger's stuck. We will be able to see them. I grab 2 every single time. There we go. Alright. So for episode 3, we will be reading from Chelsae!
Hi everyone, it's Chelsae. Welcome back to the channel. This is ChelsaeSang, and this video is my January really wanted. And then to top that off, I also heard about the Barnes & Noble sale that was happening, so I ended up getting a few hardcovers that I was putting off. So let's quick run through everything and see where we're at on the other end.
Okay, we're starting off with singles. We have Captivated by You, and For the Kid I Saw in My Dreams, Volume 7, and then Volume 15 of Fullmetal Alchemist. I just thought I would get the ball rolling since I have the others coming soon.
We're gonna put Vegeta. Ah, come on, man! Don't be putting my hair like that. Stop that.
I'm in Korean, and I am so excited. So
the first person I have here listed is Dongha. So I know Dongha from, I haven't seen a lot of his work. I've only seen him in 2 dramas of note, Suspicious Partner and Glorious Day. However, and he did have minor roles in these, but he did leave a strong impression on me. I went to 2 places in this very impromptu trip to New York City. First place I stopped at was Kinokuniya, and the other place that I went to was this place called Book Off, which is a really cool used bookstore. But it's not just used books. It's just any form of media, old media that you can find. They have it. They've got CDs, DVDs. They probably have VHSs and cassettes too, but they also have a whole bunch of books, and their manga section is pretty extensive.
when tracking down the rest, of course, 2 and 3 are impossible to find, but I did get volumes 4, 5, and 6, and I'll be on the lookout for the rest. I picked up Ajin volumes 5 and 6, and then also found Chainsaw Man volumes 3 and 5.
Thank you so much for coming on through. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.
Alright, so Miss Chelsae, her top favorite... Oh, you know what? I think she filled this out before I went back and changed it. I originally only asked for 1 and decided that probably wasn't a good idea. So I went back and asked for 3 just in case. But one of her favorite manga, we'll say, is Beastars. I only read the first volume of Beastars. I believe I have the first 3. And I set it to the side. It wasn't quite for me. I don't know if it was the time that I was reading it or what. Because I watched a good chunk. I feel like a good chunk of the anime. And I was here for it. But I don't know. Maybe it was just the timing of my reading at the time. But I might go back and visit it later. So for her top 3 recommendations, ooh, this is going to work out perfect. So we have Boys Run the Riot, Ikigami, y'all know how I feel about Ikigami, and Watakoi, Love is Hard for an Otaku. Guess what? I have Boys Run the Riot, and I have all 4 volumes, so I don't have to buy anything. Let me stop. I was actually already wanting to read Boys Run the Riot this month. I got this one. This prediction's gonna be great. Because I already know. I just talked about it last video, or the video before last. Anyway, Boys Run the Riot is about... I forget their name. Good job. I talked myself up just to let everyone down. Anyway, our main character is a transgender teen who doesn't really have the support of people in their circle. They're getting bullied at school. Mom doesn't really understand why they dress the way they are or why they act the way they do, you know. So in comes a exchange student from a different school, and he looks big and bad, so our main character doesn't bother talking to them because they think that's going to be somebody else that's going to bully them. However, one day our main character is at the mall and they're looking at clothes. They're deep into fashion. They love fashion. And they notice that the exchange student, or did I say exchange? The transfer student is there looking at the same clothes that they are there to see. So they end up talking and hitting it off. And I believe they end up becoming friends. And I think they decide to do a fashion line or a fashion show. They come together about fashion. This is going to be a coming of age, power of friendship type feel good story. I'm sure it's going to start off sad, you know, get us in our feels. But I'm excited. This works out great. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Hope you're not sick of me filming in bed yet, because it's 2 a.m. and there's nowhere else for me to go. So, what better time than now to start my reading vlog? So, like I said before, I already own all of Boys Run the Riot, so I didn't have to wait for them to get here, 1. And 2, there's only 4 volumes, so this is going to be a relatively short vlog. With that being said, I know I usually try to check in every 2 volumes or so. I'm going to check in after every volume this time, so we can maybe dig a little deeper, hopefully, into this story since there's only 4 volumes. I talked about this in my cover by videos, but Boys Run the Riot has some of my favorite covers ever. I love the matte and the gloss mix. I love the color palette mix. They're just so pretty and they're different. I've never seen a cover quite like these before. So I'm really excited to get started. I'm only going to read I'm going to read chapter 1 first, come back and check with you guys, and then go volume by volume. So I will see you guys later. Pardon me, let me just squeeze on beside you there. Y'all, tell me that's not his little brother, long lost cousin, great uncle. I don't know. So I finished chapter 1. Starting off, chapter 1 is thick. Let me see, right there, all of that, that's just the first chapter. But it was very quick going by. There are a couple of pages that don't have very many words on them at all. And overall, there's not a whole lot of text, but the plot gets straight to the point. Everybody needs a friend like Jen. Let's start with Jen. Jen is, I know I was making haiku jokes earlier, but Jen is a character that I'm going to end up loving. I will say I think their friendship happened super fast, but I have to take everything with a grain of salt because, like I said, it's only 4 volumes long, so I understand. But just out the blue, they became best buds and let's start a business, you know? But that is neither here nor there. My heart goes out to Ryu and anyone in Ryu's predicament. It can't be easy. Obviously, it's not something that I personally can relate to on that level. I can relate to it on like not fitting in or whatever. But as far as your gender, that's a whole nother ball game. My throat is so scratchy. I do like that they put definitions in here, kind of. I'm assuming that it's all going to be in the back in the footnotes and stuff, but they kind of slip in, you know, gender dysmorphia, transgender. They briefly talk about binders, but they did leave a reference page, so I'm pretty sure they'll go into more detail at the end. I'll know for sure at the end of the volume, but I like that as well. And yeah, I like that they've put these little learning moments for people who may not know and want to learn more or want to understand more. So I really appreciate that they did stuff like that. Yeah, so far so good. So I will see you at the end of the volume. Guess what? I'm finished with volume 1, so let's talk about it. First and foremost, Jin does not play about his friends, and I love that so much. We get introduced to a couple of new characters actually in this. I thought it was just going to be about Rio and Jin, but there's some other people in here as well, which is a nice little surprise. We get to meet this A1 certified bully right here. I don't like him. Ugh. And poor, what's the child's name? Itsuka. Oh my goodness. Itsuka gave me some flashbacks from middle school that, I hated it. I hated it. But not because it was bad, because it's relatable. Children are mean, okay? Children are so mean. But hopefully, you know, you live, you learn, you grow up, you become a better person. But yeah, and then we end on kind of a cliffhanger. We get introduced to a character on the way out of the volume, so on the last page, who I believe is also transgender. They did go over transgender and, excuse me, binding, and there was something else in the footnotes. Where is it? I keep saying footnotes. It's translation notes. Binding, gender identity disorder. You know, the chans and the senseis and the kuns and all that stuff. There is a nice interview in the back as well. That's 4 pages. 4 pages long. It's a nice little interview with the mangaka. And I don't know, this is very well done. Hopefully business proceeds to boom. We don't know yet. We got the clothing line arc beginning, so now we just got to sit back and see if our boys can be successful. I do love that this is giving the message of you gotta accept who you are. Forget if anybody else in the world accepts you. It's not important at all. And it's easier said than done when you're a child, when you're middle school, high school, whatever. And it's not easy as an adult. You know, it took me a long time to be comfortable in the skin that I was in and live my best life well into adulthood. And that's okay. As long as you get there, that's all that matters, right? So I wish I should have tabbed it, but Jen is just full of the best advice. I can't find it. Essentially, Jen brings up a very good point of you can't assume that just because everybody in life has treated you a certain way. Now, it's easy to assume that because everyone has treated you a certain way that everybody else in the world is going to treat you the same, right? But you can't go into a situation, a friendship, a relationship, a job, whatever, assuming the worst, because you've already got one foot out the door at that point. You know, just because Billy Bob and Joseph and Sarah Lou, I don't know, has just been terrible to you, that doesn't mean when Sally Mae comes on, that's a bad example of a name, because Sally Mae has done me wrong, because Sally Mae has taken all of my money in student loans. Just because Sally Mae comes along, you shouldn't get automatically defensive, because while it is easy to assume that this person is not going to like you or accept you for who you are, you don't know until you try. Don't count people out until you get to know them, because if you go into the situation defensive and angry, you're just giving them a reason not to like you. All the while you think it's because of the way you present yourself, but no, you are angry and defensive. Like I said, it's hard. It takes a lot to do, especially when you're used to walking around with a wall up. You know, you gotta be hardened to emotions towards the world and stuff because of how people treat you. But you can't take that out on everybody. You can't take that out on the next person, because how do you know how they're going to treat you before you've even given them a shot? Don't sabotage yourself, basically. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Anyway, there are some nice life lessons in this first volume. I love it. I cannot wait to jump into volume 2. And yeah, that's all I got for now. So I just finished volume 2. There's just entirely too much stuff to unpack here, and I don't even know where to start. First, I no longer care about the bully from the first volume because we have a new menace on the scene, and we need to talk about it. So Wing is the character that I said we get introduced to at the end of volume 1, and I believe I said that they were transgender, and I had to go back and read something in volume 1 to make sure they are gender queer, and I think that's non-binary. Please correct me if I am wrong, and if I am wrong, I sincerely apologize. I tried to Google, and I just ended up getting mixed responses on it. So the volume specifically says genderqueer, so I'm going to go with that term and refer to them by Wing because that's their name. But to avoid spoiler territory, basically something happens where one of one of Ryu's co-worker hits on him, and it's a guy, so he's like, I'm not with it, whatever. And they're talking about it later in the volume. Now, Wing makes the comment that gender isn't important when it comes to romance. Now, I'm confused by this statement comment. Let me back up. Ryu was not into the interaction. Ryu doesn't say that they're not into the interaction because the coworker is male. I don't remember the coworker's name, forgive me, but that's not the issue. And Rio says, I like this person as a person. I just wish that they didn't take it there because the feeling's not mutual, right? And Wing does the whole, well, how do you know unless you try? And I don't understand people like this. Whether it be straight, gay, bisexual, whatever. How are you going to tell someone give it a shot if they are not romantically interested in that person? Is my first question. My second question is on the gender is a non-factor when it comes to romance statement, which unless I'm reading into it wrong, I don't understand. Maybe someone can explain it to me. But I would think, I'm trying to put myself in the equation as me being a straight woman who is into straight men. I don't see how gender is not a factor in romance. Because if a straight woman comes up to me and is like, hey Dags, let me get your number, I gotta politely decline because I'm not into that. So I don't understand the logic. Now, I don't know if Wing is, open to dating anybody and everybody, and if they are, that's cool. I don't care. Love is love. Do what you want, love who you want, as long as everyone is in agreement with each other and everything is consensual. I love it for them. But you can't push that on other people. I don't understand how that works. And I thought I was taking it the wrong way when I first read it, but then later on in the volume, basically what I'm saying, Wing said, is confirmed in a different scenario, which I won't get into for spoilers. But so then I was kind of already side-eyeing them. I was like, well, maybe they're just a fun-loving type. They don't understand what's going on. Go. Then the last page of the volume. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I'm actually about to hop in the shower, wash my hair. So while I'm drying my hair, I'm going to jump directly into volume 3 because I need to know how this is going to play out because I am so disgusted. Granted, I'm being offended on the behalf of someone else, but I can't see how anybody would be okay with what they did. And judging Rio's face on the last panel, this is probably not gonna go well. So yeah, I have a new least favorite right now. Hopefully they can turn it around because I was rooting for this character when I was first introduced to them. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a nice addition to the story. I'm gonna go wash my hair now. Hi, I'm not done with volume 3. In fact, I'm not even to chapter 3, but I needed to jump in for a second. Also, the last clip, the volume probably sounds a little bit wonky. I did not have my microphone in the bathroom and didn't realize it till well after the fact, which is fine. It's here now, and I don't feel like hooking it up, so I'm gonna hold it. Boom. Anyway, I wanna I want to make sure y'all get this. Wing the devil. Imagine having the pure audacity to do something out of pocket, do it behind someone's back without their permission, have that person come to you and give you a solution to not exactly rectify the situation, but kind of do some damage control, and you only not apologize. You don't do it, and then have the nerve to say that it was your right to do so. I don't like her. And then essentially tell the person to get over it. Say the same thing kind of happened to you, and your life has been so much better, and you're trying to help them. Did they ask for your help? Did they? Because I don't think they did. Also, Miss, what's your name here? Mika, Nika, Tika, Chica. Miss Chica, yes. On a different note, did you really make this about you? Because it's not. Okay. Also, why is everyone... I can't ask that question because it'll be a spoiler. Also, you there watching this, hey, how you doing? I got a question for you. How do you engage in your sexual activities? Oh, that's none of my business. So why do you think it's okay to ask them how they get down, who they get down with, intimate details about their sex life? I mean, I wouldn't want someone coming up to me and asking me how I got down and what I did in the bedroom. That's between me, the good Lord above, and whoever I'm doing it with. But for some reason, people think it's okay to ask them. I just don't understand the gall, nor the gumption that you have to have. This whole volume, there's still a lot going on. I just wanted to pop in and get that off of my chest. Because like I said, I think I'm only on I'm going into chapter 19, which is like the third chapter in this volume. It might be the second chapter. Yeah, I just need to get that off my chest. Also, completely unrelated, a couple of days ago, I started taking my nail color off, like grinding it down. And then halfway through, I decided that I didn't want to do it anymore. So if you see some crazy looking nails in this clip, in the past clip, I don't know how many clips it's been, but please disregard. Okay, bye. Well, hurt people, don't they? Listen, I understand that I'm now supposed to feel sorry for Wing, but the grudge holder in me can't do it. I do like the t-shirt design that Jin and Rio came up with. It's a banger, okay? I don't have it in me. It couldn't be me. They are better people than I. Kudos to them for trying to help out a friend and being a way more understanding than I could ever be. I do hope that Wing finds peace within themselves and does figure everything out and everything does work out in their favor. I do wish them well. However, that's about it. I don't feel bad. I should feel bad. But I can't do it because I'm still mad from volume 2. My arm got tired. I had to switch hands. Anywho, there's only one volume left. I'm pretty sure I know how this is going to end. And I really don't have too much to say other than that. I've already picked on one character, but I think I found another doppelganger. Oh, hey there. Hey, Sangwoo. What's going on, buddy? So to y'all, it's only been a couple of minutes, but for me, it's been about 2 weeks. I started reading Jujutsu Kaisen and I got caught up in it and completely forgot that I needed to wrap up this video still. So I did have to read the last chapter of volume 3 again to refresh my memory. And I just finished volume 4. We have come to the end of the road, just like Boyz II Men. And let's talk about it, shall we? So volume 4 ended pretty much like I thought it would. This is such a good story, and I'm very content with the way that it ended. I am very content with the message that it is bringing to the audience, to us, to the people. Okay, be you, and you be the best you that you can be. There also is the original one shot that Boys Run the Riot was based off of, or I should say was adapted from. In the back, it is a lot heavier than the actual series. It was pretty good too. That one dealt more with the bullying and the harassment and stuff like that. Stuff that I thought was going to be in Boys Run the Riot, which there is, but not to the degree that it is in the one shot. But I feel like the one shot was done very well. So the series as a whole, I wish they gave me like 2 more volumes just to kind of flesh out some of the minor storylines, but it's not necessary to enjoy the story. Again, to harp on the message, just if you feel like you're having a hard time being you, you've got the wrong people, around you. Circle yourself with people that are going to love you and support you regardless of who you are, unless you're a serial killer or an animal abuser or a molester. You know what I meant. Don't, surround yourself with enablers, but you need to be comfortable in the company that you are with. You need to have friends that will support you in your endeavors. Everyone in your family, as sad as it may be, is not going to support you, is not going to be in your corner, not going to root for you. They always say blood is thicker than water. I don't necessarily stand by that because I've had, I've had friends, or I have friends that treat me, way better than some of my family members would ever treat me. Sad but true. But yeah, you just got to make sure you got a good support system around you and just be the best you that you know how to be. It's hard going through life trying to suppress who you are, trying to suppress what you may like, and I'm talking on like a broader sense here, not just gender identity, excuse me. But it's hard to suppress your feelings or your hobbies or your likes just because you're hanging around the wrong people, and sometimes it's easier just to keep it all to yourself, trust me. But eventually you're going to get tired of doing it. So you just got to find the right people. You got to love yourself. And yeah, hopefully it'll all just work out for you. But that's all I got for you. So I'm going to give this series a seal of approval. Thank you, ChelsaeSang, for recommending this series to me. Again, it is only 4 volumes long. And y'all make sure you go give Chelsae a follow. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have good vibes all around, and I will see you in the next episode, guys. Bye.